kitchens filled with stories, passed from trembling hand to hand. Recipes wrapped up in memory, like heirlooms we don't understand. There were voices in the classroom, drawing mountains, stars and seas. No one taught us how to notice what was hidden underneath. Somewhere between comfort and routine, between the noise and what we mean, something quiet disappeared without a sound for us to hear. Before we learned not to feel, before the heart was taught to hide, before we called the suffering distant just to help ourselves survive, there were eyes beneath the silence, lives too small to shape the world, still reaching through the noise around us like forgotten little words. There were doctors at the table, there were headlines on the screen, there were smiling faces selling what we never stopped to question deeply. There were families gathered closely, with their laughter in the light, never seeing all the shadows standing just beyond the night. And maybe no one meant for this to become what normal is, but slowly we grew used to looking away a little more each day. Before we learned not to feel, before compassion learned restraint, before we buried gentle voices under comfort and convenience, there were wings that never opened, tiny heartbeats in the dark, waiting somewhere past the silence for the mercy we forgot. And maybe somewhere underneath the noise we built so carefully, there's still a part of us that knows we were never meant to turn this cold. Not born to walk past fragile things as if their sorrow cannot speak, not made to silence tenderness just to make the world feel easier. Before we learned not to feel, before we mastered looking through, there were countless quiet lives that trusted this world too. And somewhere beneath the noise of us, beyond the habits we conceal, there's a door still standing open back before we learn not to feel. Before we learn not to feel, before we learn not to feel.